wake up slowly, fighting to keep my eyes open. In the back of my head, I feel like something is wrong. It takes a minute before I realize I've overslept. It's 5:45. Marina was supposed to wake me up 15 minutes ago. Marina? I call her name, but get no response. Has she been kidnapped? Rolling out of bed, I massage my eyes and stumble up towards the front. Of course she's asleep, You know, if you were going to fall asleep anyway, why didn't you just sleep with me, huh, Marina? Sprawled out on the dash, with her head buried in her arms. It looks like she's been out for a while. Jerking her by the shoulder, I shake her awake. What? What's up, Amber? Her speech is slurred by sleepiness. I ignore the temptation to make the "not you" joke. How does that joke go? How's that book you're reading? It's great. I just put it down to... A look of shock spreads across her face. Mounting horror takes over as she realizes the time. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I was just gonna nap, but then I forgot to set an alarm, to wake me up. Yeah, that's what alarms are for. Freaking out, she hurriedly tries to buckle her seatbelt, failing several times in her frenzy. I pat her on the shoulder as I sit down. It's not even a big deal, but she's so worked up. It's cool. We're not late yet. Ready to go? Marina just nods, staring at the floor. I buckle up and turn the key. The engine roars to life, and I throw it in reverse. I have to crane my neck to make sure I don't run over anyone. Road signs direct us out of town and towards the canyon. After spending so long on the highway, going down these streets with lower speed limits feels restrictive. From the corner of my eye, I watch Marina. She's being abnormally quiet. Does she feel that guilty? She fixes her hair, pops her knuckles, and rubs her shoulders, but she doesn't say anything. Finally, I cave. What's wrong with you? Huh? What do you mean? Her tone of voice is stress. Maybe I'm more intimidating than I think. You're being weird. Super quiet. Yeah, definitely not like Marina to be super quiet. Oh, I didn't know if you were mad at me or not. What, for falling asleep? She nods. Pfft. Nah, I'm not mad. Trust me, you'd know for sure if I was. I told you it wasn't a big deal, didn't I? You promise? Yeah, I promise. Marina bounces in her seat, immediately cheerier. I definitely feel like Amber is not the type of girl that, is like the passive-aggressive person that just like, she say like, I'm not mad at you, and then she sits in a corner looking at you with the evil eye, She's not like that at all. If she's mad at you, she's gonna tell you she's mad at you, and make sure that you know that you're mad at her, or that she is mad at you. She's not the girl that plays games like that, I think. Okay, cool. Cause if you were mad at me already, that'd be a bad sign. What does she mean by already? Like Marina has a bunch of other stuff that she planning on doing that would apparently make Amber even more mad? Like, oh my god, if you're already mad at this, oh my god, you're not gonna survive what I'm about to do in the next couple of hours. Sign of what? That we wouldn't be good partners. Treasure hunting buddies. Oh, we're partners now, are we? You're the sidekick, right? No way! I'm totally the main character. We're here because of me. I laugh, and she turns away smiling. She's a lot cuter when she smiles. I've been smiling more too, I realize. And as I think of that, it starts to make me sad again. Uh-oh. Well, how does that work? How does that work? She thinks about, hey, I'm actually really happy right now. Damn it, that makes me sad. How did that work? I didn't understand that at all. Perhaps she feels guilty for feeling happy because of apparently, I think her grandfather dying. and stuff like that. Maybe she feels guilty for being happy because she thinks that she is kind of not allowed to. But that's what she thinks herself, I think. I don't fucking know. But it just feels weird to me. It's like, I was actually smiling a lot. But thinking about the fact that I smiled more has made me sad now. No. Do I really deserve to be smiling right now? Hey, Amber. Huh? Like she read my mind. Marina snaps me out of it. Can we listen to Super Crush again? You seriously like that one? Super Crush was one of the big groups that Grams loved to show off to other people because they were so weird. All of the members played a different instrument on each album, so it was like a whole nother band played every time. Yeah, it was different, but in a good way. That's definitely true. With one hand on the steering wheel, I dig around in the bin of tapes by my feet. I flick my gaze between that and the road. Eventually, I find the one I'm looking for. It has a Halloween orange case with text that looks like slime. When it starts to play, Marina hums along. She's almost on key. Guess she liked it enough to remember how the song goes. I crank the volume up, earning a grin from Marina. The sound is tinny and distorted at this level. More distorted than usual, I mean. But it's also more fun, of course, because it's not fun unless you're cranking the music up all the way to 110% while you're driving. Our smiles last all the way until we roll into a nearby empty parking lot, or nearly empty parking lot. As I turn the volume back up, I can tell she's thinking the same thing I am. Amber? Yeah? Shouldn't there be, like, other people waiting here? There probably should. What time is it? Marina twists around to check. 6:20. What the hell? Did they start early? There are other cars around, but they're all unoccupied. My parking job is hasty, and I take up 2 spaces, but don't bother to correct it. Okay, this place looks haunted. What the heck? We hurry out of the RV. I almost forget the key in the ignition, then have to double back to grab it. Marina's already over at the information desk, probably talking to a ranger. But then she turns back to me, the despair on her face visible, even though it's getting dark. There's no one here! Uh-oh. Ooh, it's starting to feel spooky actually. There aren't any lights on inside either. Probably closed at 6. I vaguely recall reading that in the brochure, but I thought there would still be someone around for the tours. That doesn't make sense. If it's all closed at 6, then why are there even tours available on 6:30? I mean, I guess the tours doesn't necessarily have to be dependent on the actual rangers and whatnot and the buildings being on or open, but I don't know. Maybe this is part of the mystery. Ooh. Don't panic. I jog back to the RV and unlock it again. Rummaging through the glove box, I pull out the little blue flashlight that Grams gave me a few years ago. I click it on and off a couple of times to make sure that it works. After I lock everything back up again, I join Marina by the unhelpful help desk. Unhelpful help desk? She's bouncing on her heels, hands clasped together. Hey, it's alright. Worst comes to worst, we'll just do it tomorrow. But what if someone else finds the treasure tonight? I don't have an answer for that one. Guess we'll just have to catch up then, huh? Turning on the flashlight, I swing the beam around, while there's still some daylight left. It isn't much, maybe half an hour at the most. Catch up to what? The tour group, silly. Even if we're late, they can't have left that long ago, and they'll be stopping a bunch, so we'll be able to find them easily. By ourselves? Her voice is almost a squawk, like a surprised parrot. Well, yeah. I don't see anyone else around. Do you? I swivel around, illuminating nothing but rocks and bushes. Come on, it'll be fine. It's not like there's gonna be bears or mountain lions this close to the parking lot. Those kind of things live here? If she didn't know that, then what is she afraid of? Probably. I don't know. Come on, we're wasting time. Yeah. The longer we wait, the closer the mountain lions get. Marina whimpers. Then, surprising me, she grabs my hand. Hers is sweaty and warm. I turn and look at her and meet her wide eyes. It looks like she might cry and makes me regret being so pushy. We don't have to do it if you don't want to. She shakes her head, but clings to me like a kid, her free hand buried in my clothes. If it were any brighter out, she'd see my face turn red. No. Like I said, if we don't go now, someone else will beat us to it. Just stay close, okay? Yeah, of course. She lets me lead, but doesn't let go of my hand. A large wooden sign marks the start of the trail. So, are you scared of the dark? Ooh, no answer. But you were fine at Shiprock. But this is like, yeah, I agree. That was different. This environment alone is definitely way more creepy than Shiprock, and it's also creepier if there are less people around. Because with Shiprock, at least there were a bunch of people around. Sure, they were kind of far away, but at least it was still kind of a crowded and open area. Here, it really gives this kind of spooky and creepy environment. Marina's arm jerks, but she doesn't let go. That was in a town with people and roads and no mountain lions. The temptation to tease her more is strong, but I don't. Every time a bird caws or something makes the brush shake, I feel her flinch a little. Somehow, even this side of her is cute too. A little childish, sure, but it's nice to have her rely on me to keep her safe. To take her mind off of things, I make small talk. So, what are you gonna do once you're filthy rich from the treasure? Sorry, what? I asked what you'd do with your share of the treasure. Oh, I'm not sure yet. I haven't thought about it. She's gonna have to give another 50% of her cut to her parents. Probably even 75. We're out here looking, and you don't even have a plan for it? It was a spur of the moment thing. What about you, huh? I don't know either. Ha! See? I'm not... Yeah, but I wasn't planning on looking for it, you know? I haven't spent as much time thinking about it. I glance behind me to see Marina stick out her tongue. I laugh. But, let's see. I definitely need to pay off Gramps' hospital and funeral expenses. Oh god. I mean, she was hinting at it most of the time, but now it's actually clear. Gramps actually died, no. After that, I guess I should probably get the motorhome fixed. It's not gonna break down on us or anything, but it's kind of old. Why not just buy a new one? Memories, Marina, memories. Hell no! My response comes out snappier than I intended. It's just that it has sentimental value, you know? I'd rather keep that than buy a newer, better car. I grew up in that thing. I could never just replace it. After that, I'd probably just keep doing what I was doing before I met you. And what's that? Wandering. Don't you want to stop wandering sometime? My steps slow a bit. It's an innocent question, but it hits me hard. Not yet, no. I whisper it. Marina catches up next to me, dropping my hand as she does so. At least I'm not the only one without a goal. I poke her in the side and she squirms away a couple of feet. Ow! Dork. It's hard to stay sad around her. As we turn around a curve in the road, the group tour group comes into view. Just ahead is a cluster of people, most of them armed with flashlights. It's hard to know for sure, but I can at least see a dozen different figures. The tour guide is shining his light up a rock face, illuminating some designs on it. Everyone has their backs to us. Try to be as sneaky as possible, okay? We want to join up with them without them noticing. Like we've been there the whole time, just casually walk up and like... Yeah, no, whistling is definitely gonna give us away. If anyone notices, show up. They might notice when we leave. Why do we have to join up in the first place? That's a good question, actually. Considering, I mean, our goal is to kind of sneak off from the group anyway. We're away from the group now, right? So, shouldn't we just start looking around? I don't know how to get to the ruins we're looking for. We'll stay with the group until the tour gets there, and then we'll sneak off. But then we can just follow them from a distance? Marina nods. Okay, follow my lead, and remember, be as quiet as you can. We creep forward. If someone were to turn around and see us, we'd look pretty suspicious, but nobody does. The lecture on petroglyphs gets their full attention. Marina kicks a rock, and I tense up, expecting that to break the spell, but we're close enough now that if it did, it might not matter. And we reach the back of the tour group without anyone noticing. I give Marina a thumbs up, which she returns. On the sorry ruins, some of the Navajo people still call the area home. There's a little living community in the canyon who... I'm not too interested in hearing about the history of the place, so I turn back to Marina. She's looking up at the pictures too, though her eyes appear glazed over. When she catches me staring, she blinks and then smiles. I smile back, though I must look like an idiot just watching her instead of the lecture. After a minute, the guide's speech concludes and we start to walk down the trail. Much to my dismay, before I can say anything to Marina, the woman in front of us turns around. Isn't that just crazy? Huh? Look at her with the little baby. Oh my god, that's so funny. Just a little baby hanging in front of her. It reminds me of one of those kangaroo pouches, you know, but I guess this is more in the chest area rather than downstairs below, as the kangaroos would have it. But, okay. Why is this little kid up anyway? Isn't it like, it's 6? Okay, it's 6. I don't fucking know what time babies go to bed, but it definitely feels like it's past its bedtime. It takes a second for me to understand what she's talking about. She fits just about every stereotype of redneck, from that huge hat on her head and a baby strapped to her chest. She'd probably be attractive, if not for the layers of sunscreen coating her face. Even though it's nearly nighttime, they make her look like a ghost. I said, isn't that just crazy? What he was saying about those Indians, and how they used to communicate with each other. Oh, yeah. Even if I had wanted to talk to her, I still have no idea what the guide had said. They are just so darn clever. Really makes you wonder how they all ended up dying out, huh? Really? Are you really saying that, woman? They're not extinct, are they? What? What is she talking about? I'm pretty sure a lot of them are still alive. And like, some of them live here. In this canyon. That's even the one sentence that we heard from the guide, right? I even remember that. She said there's like a native group still living in this canyon. But no, she totally just didn't pay attention to that part. I had heard that much, at least. But apparently, not everyone did. For a second, the woman looks at me like I'm crazy. But then she busts up laughing. Sorry. You're absolutely right. I was thinking of them Aztecs down in Mexico. How can you what? How can you confuse the Aztecs and like Native Americans? What? Her laugh is more like a bray. She sounds like a farm animal. In my head, I keep hoping she'll turn back around and leave us alone. But we're not so lucky. She keeps on chatting us up as we follow the trail. I'm self-conscious about how noisy she's being compared to the low noise level of the others. Say, what is that where the name Texas comes from? From Aztec? Before I can answer, she started shouting at someone else. Hey Howard! Come over here! Oh my god, don't bring your husband here. By now, nearly everyone is looking at us. The one thing we didn't want to happen was attention being put on us. And this fucking woman with her kangaroo baby and a floppy big beach hat. Oh my god. Ma'am, can you please keep your voice down? Oops, sorry. She apologizes loudly. So much for staying inconspicuous. Howard makes his way over. He looks rather defeated, face drooping, and shoulders sagging. I figure he's the woman's husband. He's like, oh god dang it, yeah. I'm stuck with this woman. We got a baby. I got no choice. I can't leave. I can't just run away. I'm just here for the baby. Yes, dear. I was just talking to this girl here about history, and I was wondering, why does the name Texas have anything to do with the Aztecs? Since the word sounds kind of similar. I don't think so. Huh? Go figure. She cackles again. Beside her, Howard sighs. For his sake, I hope her family is loaded or something. Exactly. There's gotta be like a different reason, right? He definitely didn't marry her for her sparkling personality. Every time she laughs, the baby on her chest bounces. But the lucky kid slips right through it all. Maybe he's used to this. This kid is lucky that he's a heavy sleeper, because otherwise I feel like he wouldn't survive his childhood. At least not, without becoming insane. Anyway, I must have left my manners back in Wisconsin. My name's Linda, and this is my husband Howard. This little champ right here. She thrusts herself and thus the baby towards me. Is Dino. Oh, what? Please, Howard. Why the fuck did you let her call your baby Dino? What? That is not even a normal fucking human name. Ain't that just the cutest name? I just grunt in response. Fucking Dino. Oh my god. I just grunt in response. I'm trying to see around here, up to where the guide is alternating between shooting Linda death glares and trying to narrate the walk. If he said anything useful about the canyon in the past couple of minutes, I've missed it entirely. Come on, Howard, step your game up. Take her away from us. Glancing over at Marina, who has pulled away a couple of feet. It looks like she's enjoying my torture in struggling silence. Tears have formed at the corners of her eyes, glittering in the dying light. They're the good kind of tears, the kind from laughing too much. Her hand is smushed over her mouth, and she's shaking with the effort of staying silent. There's no way I can let her get away with that, especially since I need to get closer to the front for now. I grab her arm and tug her over to Linda's line of sight. I'm Jane. The enthusiasm in my voice is so forced. And this is my friend Lacey. I use fake names just to be safe, of course. Marina limply shakes Linda's hand, which has grabbed hers. The mirth has vanished from Marina's face. Oh yeah, that's what you get for laughing at us. Now we pulled her into this mess as well. Good. Nice to meet you. Linda pumps her arm like a guillotine, grinning broadly, and yet still managing to walk. It's so good to see young people taking an interest in nature and history and all of that. Are you all from around here? We're originally from Tennessee, see? But moved to Wisconsin and... Having been properly introduced, I leave Marina to suffer through the family history. I shift away and walk ahead, passing by most of the tour group so I can better hear the guide. For a while, he talked about the wildlife and history of the park. After a couple of minutes though, the lessons become more relevant. We'll be coming up on the Mummy Cave ruins here in just a bit. That's one of the better known sites in the canyon. 700 years ago, it was a bustling Puebloan village. We can't get too close to the ruins, so unfortunately, it might be a little too late to see them clearly tonight. While the Mummy Cave itself hasn't ever been open to the public, that's all I needed to know. So I started to slip back towards Marina, who is still a conversational hostage. Linda notices me approaching. Oh, Jane, there you are. I was just telling Lacey about one of the cows I helped birth when I was younger. Oh, God. I'm not sure how the conversation went from introductions to cowbirth in such a short span of time, but I'm not curious enough to ask. When I rejoined Marina, she mouths two words. Save me. I don't know how to get out of this one. Annoyance aside, it'd be impossible to slip away with Linda's attention on us. But it seems like we're in luck. As we go around another bend in the road, something more interesting than our Marina and me comes into view. Oh, Howard, look! This is it! This is those mummy ruins I was telling you about! Linda elbows forward, moving ahead of us. You girls make sure you get a good spot. You're gonna wanna see this, even if it's dark out. Bye-bye, Linda, thankfully. Oh, God. Thank God that is over. She forges ahead, her husband trailing dutifully. As he passes, I can hear him say sorry, though I'm not certain. I feel like every time he just has to say that whenever, Linda just does her own thing in public. He's just like, oh God, she's doing it again. She's talking to random strangers about giving birth to a cow. Wait, that's not what she did. So, he's just prepared every single time. Just like, sorry for her, sorry. Once they're out of earshot, Marina makes a sound like a train letting out steam. Oh my God! I thought I was gonna explode! My ears, or my head, or my brain, or something. Saw you laughing, and figured that it wasn't fair if I was the only one who suffered. I'd take it all back if I could. Seriously though, first she was talking about herself, and then about her kid, then about her childhood, and then she started talking about growing up on a farm. Somehow, she ended up going on about cows having babies, and how messy it all is. I don't even know. What, you're not interested in that stuff? Ew, no! Gross, gross, gross! She wrinkles up her face as she says it. I giggle, but then turn serious real fast. Okay, but listen. Because it's dark, the group probably isn't gonna stop to look at the mummy cave ruins for very long, so we'll have to wait until we can sneak away again. And then we can go over there ourselves. How far away are they? No idea. I can't see from here. Just follow my lead again. Got it. We've been at the very back of the group this entire time. The people right in front of us are much less interested in us than Linda was, so I don't think anyone will notice if we go missing. And when we reach a railing, the guide stops to point out the ruins. They're across a small valley, a couple 100 yards away. In the darkness, it's almost impossible to see them. They're just a dark smudge against the even darker backdrop of the mountain. Marina and I are a few yards away from the group too. I pretend to inspect something on the rock, though there's nothing there. As the short speech ends, and the guide starts to lead everyone on again, I dart behind a rock and crouch down. Marina quickly follows. I can see her start to say something, but I cup my hand over her mouth before she can get a word out. Silently, I shake my head. Marina nods twice, so I uncover her face. This feels like an undercover secret mission. In my head, I count to 60, and once a minute has passed, I peel myself away from the rock and stand back up. We should be safe now. Marina's face lights up, and she claps her hands. I notice that she's taken out the journal page with the hiding spot again. That was so cool! It was like something out of a video game, where you just sneak away right in front of everyone. I guess so, but we still can't be noisy. They're not gonna be that far away. No flashlights either. This close up, I can see her face fall at that. Don't worry, I'll be right beside you. Are we just going to hop the fence and walk over there? Unless you have any better ideas. What if they catch us? Then they'll throw us out. We're not gonna get arrested for trespassing or anything, are we? Nah, that'd be too much trouble for them. I say that, Though I don't actually know. We should actually look if there was a sign. Usually they can't really arrest you unless there's an actual sign that says like trespassing. Trespassers will be arrested. Okay. The uncertainty in her voice is obvious. I grab the paper from her hands and stuff it into my pocket. Let's go. The longer we wait, the more likely it is that they'll notice us missing. I stroll over to the metal rail, hoping that I sound more confident than I am. Honestly, this is pretty risky, and more than a little stupid. But it's also exciting, of course it's exciting to break the rules. I duck down, and underneath the rail. After a moment, Marina does the same. We're officially out of bounds. That one step we just took that made us out of bounds, made us criminals. That's kind of funny to think about, you know, that one step, like one movement, was the difference between us being quote-unquote criminals and not. Well, I guess it's not really criminal, we're trespassing, you know, but doing something quote-unquote illegal, I guess, you know. Across the small field, I can still just barely make out the shape of the ruins. They sit close to the mouth of a large cave that runs up the mountain like a scar. Okay, come on. Ooh. There's an incline, but it's not too bad. Next to me, Marina spreads her arms out for balance, but I'm confident enough not to need it. Crossing over to the ruins themselves will be the riskiest part. There's no cover, and anyone who happens to look over will see us. We just have to hope that the tour group has moved to somewhere without a line of sight on us. Okay, hurry! I grab Marina's hand again and start to run. She struggles to keep up, so I slow down a little bit. It takes maybe 2 minutes from one end to the other. And when we reach the far wall, Marina's breathing is strained. Don't do much running, do you? Not at all. Every word is punctuated with a pant. I'm winded too, but find my lungs to not show it. I have to look strong for Marina. Exactly, we're a leader. We can't show weakness. Not to the people that are supposed to follow us. Ready for the fun part? Is it actually fun? Not yet. We still gotta get up there. I point to the lip of the cave, a good 50 feet or so above us. Still, Marina's face goes pale as she stares at the sheer rock wall in front of us. We're not gonna have to climb that, are we? How else? Unless you can fly, we're gonna have to climb. I wait a second for the shock to hit her face before I laugh and shake my head. Just kidding. Come over here. A short distance away is a slope, somewhat steep, but not too long. It leads up into the part of the cave close to the ruins. We actually do have to go up this one. Her face still looks doubtful. I don't know if I can get up that. Sure you can. It's easy. Look. I hike up a couple of steps. Dirt and a bit of gravel tumble down past my feet, but it's mostly stable. It's almost all dirt. If it was loose rock, we'd be in trouble. Still looking uncertain, Marina takes a careful step up behind me, then another. She slides back down a little bit with each step. Try to spread your weight out a little more evenly. You don't want to lose your balance and fall over. By doing what I say, she's able to reach where I'm standing. Good job. Now let's just do that like 50 more times. Marina groans, but I've already started. I glance back behind me. She's trailing only a couple steps back. For all her worrying, she's doing okay. I'm just about to compliment her when I feel the earth shift beneath me and my foot slides loose. Uh-oh. With a yelp, I lose my balance, arms flailing as I try not to fall. Then, faster than I can process, Marina's arm shoots out and grabs my sleeve. She tucks me back upright. Oh, Marina MVP! Marina to the rescue. Are you okay? Oh my god, is your ankle alright? It's not broken, is it? I feel like, as much as Marina may seem like a ditz and, a little bit clumsy at some times and maybe not the smartest person ever, I feel like she's definitely a person that can surprise you when you need her the most. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. The only thing I injured is my pride. Are you sure? Yeah, thanks. Good save. We climb up the rest of the way together, but slowly. At the top, both of us stretch and catch our breath. That wasn't so bad, was it? Besides the part where you almost died, maybe? I didn't almost die. Besides, that's what I have my sidekick for, yeah, to save my life. She gives me a playful shove. Hey, I told you I'm not the sidekick here. Uh-huh. You'll still have to earn the title of captain, or commander, or whatever it is. And you can do that by finding this thing before I do. Ooh, we're turning it into a competition now? Now that we're actually up in the ruins themselves, it's more clear just how tough this is going to be. The cave stretches a long way, like a deep scar in the mountain. Delicate clay buildings, some barely as tall as we are arranged throughout. They say this was a village, but it's hard to imagine anyone living here. Everything is so cramped and small. Where do you think we should start? Hard to say. It won't be anywhere obvious. Remember, people have been studying this place for decades. What if someone already found it? Like, a long time ago? I shrug, but that's probably impossible to see. The sun has now gone down entirely, leaving us in shadowed darkness. I wonder why Marina doesn't seem bothered by it this time. If they did, then I haven't heard anything about it. We've just gotta start looking. Try to be careful though. I feel bad being here. Maybe this was a bad idea. Be super careful then. And watch for spiders. Don't freaking mention spiders. I hate spiders. I flick on the spare flashlight and pass it to her. Just in time to see the look of disgust at the mention of spiders. We split up, staying close to each other, but not overlapping where we look. I get down on my hands and knees, shining lights into every corner and cranny that I can. I worry that our lights might be visible from a distance, even though they aren't very powerful. The only alternative will be sneaking over in broad daylight, and we'd be much more likely to be caught then. I'm not finding anything except dirt. I brush my fingers along the clay bricks in hopes of finding a loose stone or a secret compartment, but there's nothing like that. Nearby, Marina is doing the same thing. She's hitched up her dress so that it doesn't drag on the ground, and I force myself to look away rather than stare. Oh no, you gotta stare. She offers quite a few though. Oh yeah, you just gotta stare but not make it obvious, so you know you just stare between your fingers. After a moment, Marina giggles. I'm not sure why. He's like, I knew you were looking at me. I haven't spoken at all, because I don't want our voices to echo in the cave and give us away. But silently searching gets tedious fast, so I decide to try whispering. What's so funny? I don't know. Everything, I guess. I was just thinking how weird this is. Like, it's just so random, you know? Alright, Aristotle. Who's that? Never mind. Philosopher? No, okay, she won't get it. But yeah, it is kinda crazy. Deciding that the building is I was scouring is a lost cause, I move on to the next one. I know it's probably not a big deal for you, since you do this stuff all the time, but this is honestly the most fun I've ever had, I think. Destroying ancient Native American landmarks? I'm being super careful, like really super careful, but just in general, being out here on the road. I thought maybe I was making a mistake when I left, but not anymore. I'm glad. And I am. I really am. Don't be glad, you'll turn sad again. Guess it worked out well for both of us. I can't see her from here, but I know she's smiling. Then she giggles again. Aw, Amber, you're a big ol' softy after all, aren't you? I'm not. I take it back. I should have left you on the side of the road. This time, we both laugh. After that, we lapse back into near silence. Just the sound of us crawling around, or occasionally moving to another building to search. Soon, the happy atmosphere starts to dissolve as we start getting frustrated, or at least I do. It takes maybe 20 minutes before we've looked over all the buildings. There aren't too many, and combing over them isn't that hard, but we don't find anything. Not even a clue, or a hint that we're in the right spot. Sighing through my nose, I start double-checking some of the larger homes. All the crawling and bending is starting to take a toll on me, and when I straighten up, my back is sore, and sweat presses my hair to my forehead. We should have brought some bottle of waters with us. I lean against the rock wall and massage my shoulders. Marina finishes up a building and then joins me. She's biting her lip, frowning a little. Any luck? Nope, nothing. You? Uh-huh. We both pause, silent. So, that's it, right? Like, we've checked all the buildings. Can't be. We must have missed something. I'm going to try checking out the cave itself. She just stands there, watches as I head over to the far side. I shine my flashlight up and down and up again, examining every inch of the rock. There's gotta be a crevice where the gold is stashed, or some other hiding place. There has to be, but none of the cracks are wide enough or deep enough for something like that. A few minutes later, and I pass by Marina, still in the same place. I check her face as I go. Her eyebrows are furrowed, and she looks worried. I keep hunting. Images of Maria triumphantly holding up the gold spur me on. Oh yeah, we cannot let her win no matter what. Just the thought of her smug grin pisses me off. When I reach the other end, the other end of the cave, I double back and check it again, and again. Finally, Marina pulls away from the wall. I hear it, but don't see it. Amber, come on. There's no way. Her voice is like a knife in my heart. Ugh! It hurts because I know she's right. I sigh and flick off my flashlight. Standing there, I look at the invisible ground and have to admit the truth to myself. It's not here. There's no treasure to be found in the Mummy Cave ruins. Either we got it wrong, or someone beat us to it. Whichever the answer, there's nowhere else in here that it could be. I make my way back to Marina, slowly. I can feel stinging tears of frustration beginning to well up in my eyes, which surprises me. I'm sure Maria would be laughing at me if she was here right now. Abruptly, I stop walking towards her and spin around. I don't want Marina to see. There's a sound of crunching dirt as she walks over. Amber? There's worry in her voice. I shake my head. I don't know if she can see. She lays her hand on my shoulder, and 2 tears manage to leak out of my eyes. I shake my head again. Amber, it's okay. No, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I was wrong. There's nothing here. I know there isn't, but seriously, that's okay. I sob, not even knowing why. Damn it. Get a grip, Amber. I wrench my eyes shut before the waterworks really start. It burns, but I manage to hold back. Taking deep breaths, I get myself under control. Aww. I sink down to lean against the wall of the cave. Marina does the same. Our clothes are dusty from being on the ground so much. Marina pokes me in the side. You okay? I draw a rattly breath. Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. I don't know what that was all about. I just got super frustrated. Yeah, I could tell. Can it... I flick her, gently, on the knee, Can it? What? Oh, as in like shut it. Okay. But, that was kind of embarrassing. No, it's okay. Really. I cry all the time at home. Don't worry. It's like losing. Not finding a treasure, I mean. I'm so mad for wasting all of our time on this. Aren't you? No. Why would I be? She sounds genuinely surprised. Because now we're behind on the next one too. What if someone beats us to all the rest of them? Now you sound like me. Oh God, is there a cure? Meanie. But really, I had fun, so I don't think it was a waste of time. Even if we're not like super rich now, I'm glad we came here. Once again, I don't even have to look to know that she's smiling. She's always smiling after all. It's one of the cuter things about her, and there are a lot of those. But I'm afraid to look up and meet her eyes. Afraid of what I've been starting to feel lately, and how I've been thinking of her. It's stupid to get bothered by this now. I know. We've been together all day. But right now, when I'm already being over-emotional, I feel like it'd be a bad idea. Amber? And then, by reflex, I do it anyway. I look over, and I was right. My heart flutters a little, but the smile I was anticipating has been replaced by yet another look of concern. Yeah, you're right. I guess it wasn't so bad. She brightens up immediately. For real? Mm-hmm. I'm good now. Still, sorry for freaking out there for a sec. It's okay. Don't feel bad. Groaning, I stand up again. I'm definitely gonna be sore tomorrow. We should get out of here though. The longer we spend, the more likely we are to get caught. It's been probably 45 minutes or so since we ditched the tour group. Hopefully they didn't get search and rescue out looking for us. I offer my hand to Marina, who's still sitting on the ground. She takes it, and I haul her onto her feet. After dusting herself off, we both walk to the edge of the cave. It's impossible to see anything. Even the trail across the way is invisible from here. Watch your step going down the hill. Yeah, we don't want anyone to almost die again. Did she really just say that, huh? Did you take a shot at me? Going down the hill is easier than going up, though we still have to be careful. We make it to the bottom without incident. We don't risk the flashlights until we're back across the fence and on the trail. Now that we're not out of bounds, it doesn't matter if people see us. Yeah, we can just say, we got lost from the group. Where do we go now? I think about it for a moment. There's not much point in catching up with the tour again. Besides, it's probably ended by now. Still, if they did notice that we disappeared, then it could be bad for us to just leave the park. The last thing I want to see is our faces on missing person posters the next time we stop at a gas station. But they've got a 45-minute lead on us, and that'll only grow if we were to try to find them. We'll just go back to the parking lot and get out of here. If anyone asks, then we can just say we left early. Thank God. I was hoping you'd say that. How come? I'm so tired. Same. My back's gonna hurt for a year. At least you have the comfy bed. Hey, you could always lay with me. Is that what you want to say, Amber? Grab some pillows from the closet if you need. There are more? Oh yeah, Grams liked to have a zillion pillows when he slept. Oh, she sounds let down. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have made that connection there. Don't worry, they weren't like his pillows or anything. You can use them. Alright. Damn, she really starts to worry when I mention him. Guess there's a good reason for that. But right now, though the thought is a familiar jab of sadness, I'm not about to break down. I'm doing okay for now. We're quiet the rest of the way down the trail though, without having to stick to the slow pace of a guided tour. It's actually a quick walk. There aren't any other hikers out, which surprises me. It's dark, but not that late. And as we reach the parking lot, it seems like we had perfect timing, or maybe perfectly awful. Spilling out of our trailhead on the other side is the tour group that we were briefly part of. I recognize the tour group, or tour guide, as well as... Oh no! Fucking Linda is back! Oh, there you girls are! Linda. She came from my blind spot before we had the time to hide. I don't even try to force a smile as I turn to face her. Oh my god, I swear, how would you just have her on a leash? She strolls up to us. Dino's still asleep. Is that actually a fucking name for a baby? An actual human being. Dino. Howard's nowhere to be seen though. Maybe he's in their car. I was hoping to see y'all before you left. Yeah, we were pretty tired, so we came back early. Oh, I'll bet you are. She winks at me, like she's in on the joke. Problem is, I don't know what the joke's supposed to be. What do you mean? Don't think I didn't notice you two running off now. Figured you were, you know. She laughs and shakes her head. You know what? I think that's good though. Reminds me of me and my Howard when we were younger. We used to sneak off every chance we got, if you know what I mean. Oh my god, did she really think we sneaked off to, have sexy fun time on an Indian preservation? I almost want to say burial ground, but it's not a burial ground, but it's just a kind of a sacred or at least historic place. My face starts to turn red as I realize what she's thinking. Marina's probably tomato colored, though I don't turn to look. We weren't. We're not. No need to be embarrassed or anything like that. And besides, at least you won't get pregnant. What? She laughs heartily, the baby on her chest bouncing with emotion. Sorry though, I'm getting to be a bit too nosy for my own good. Y'all girls be safe out there. It was nice to get to know ya. She grabs my hand from my side and pumps it in a vigorous handshake, then does the same to Marina. Neither of us react, still dumbfounded. Then she heads off towards the sea of cars, more of a puddle now, since most have already left. I turn to Marina. As expected, her face is scarlet. Wow. Right? That poor baby. Yeah, its name is fucking Dino. And that poor husband. I didn't think people like that were real. Like, that they only existed in books and movies and stuff. And they say the desert does weird things to your head. Or maybe Wisconsin does. I shrug and start walking back towards the RV. I'm glad that Marina doesn't push the topic of Linda's misconception. I unlock the door and let Marina in first. We're one of the last ones here. Before I pull the door shut, I take a final look around the canyon to Chelly, or what little I can see of it. It may have been a buzz, but like Marina said, it wasn't a total waste of time.